Okay, this is Healy, and I'm sitting here with, on my left, Mickey Hart, and Don Pearson is in the center, and John Meyers is on the right. And John Meyers is probably the focal point of this particular interview insofar as for the last several years
I've
now,
always wanted to know, is it John Meyer or Myers?
There's no S.
I thought so. I mean, Mr. Healy.
Right, okay, sure, okay. Yeah, I know, I stand corrected. I stand
you know, they're Myers
I don't
speakers,
even,
right?
I never thought about
there
it.
There are two speakers.
You know,
two
I'll tell you
speakers
what,
make...
in the vernacular, everybody
it's
calls
Meyer
you Myers.
apostrophe, you know,
Oh,
it's that thing I learned.
Well, because...
if it's more than one, it's two, so it's a Myers. Right? That's where we got that from.
Yeah, it's like it's in the vernacular. Everybody calls you Myers, even though I know that everybody knows damn well your name is Meyer.
That was true in high, it was true in high school, so it doesn't make any difference.
You don't blink when they call you Myers.
You're the only one that noticed it.
I always do. But I know.
Okay, in '76, we had 2 semis full of sound equipment, and this is in what's known euphemistically as the wall of sound days. Today we have less than 1 semi, and this is the definition of that is like a 40-foot trailer. We have 1 semi with your equipment that Don owns and operates as a unit, systematized system that fills less than 1 whole semi-trailer, and it develops more than twice not only the volume level but the quality of the sound. And I think that that's really a noteworthy, all of our listeners out there, particularly the ones of us that are really tuned into the audio world. When you stop and think about it, what you've done in the last 5 years is you've cut the size more than in half, and you've more than doubled, you've practically tripled the quality and the quantity of the sound coming out of it. That is basically practically a miracle. That's a very big step. It's probably one of the largest quantum steps that we've gone in sound since the late '60s, when we were all poking around with our first sets of designs and stuff, when we all got to know each other and we were all starting out. What do you see in the future? What sort of visions do you have? I'll direct it to both of you guys. Either one of you, John Meyer.
Why don't you talk for a minute?
Don. Okay, Don Pearson. What do you see happening, say, over the next 5 years or so, Don?
Well,
how do you see the systems changing? Where do you think it's going?
Well, I think right now we're at a point where the amplifier development, we still have more speakers than we have amplifier power to drive them with, and we're going to be seeing more powerful amplifiers coming out and better sounding.
Even though there's available what seems to be, I guess by older standards, there seems to be huge amps, but what you're saying is now the equipment is so much more efficient that it's no longer...
John speakers can take so much more power and put out so much more level that even the most powerful amplifiers today, there's still more speaker left. There's still speaker left.
Okay, so that's what you're saying is one of the next things that we've got coming. Is that any other things that you see?
I think we're going to see the beginning of digital mixing consoles for the road coming in the next very short period of time.
How far away are we from smooth enough digitizing equipment to really be able to use to number crunch and do it cleanly and stuff in real time basis?
Well, I mean, it's being done at Stanford right now.
Yeah.
Is that more in a prototype space, or how long will that be? Sort of basically.
Take a 6-foot rack.
In other words, how long is it since until say we can have one at the mix booth?
I think we'll see an 8-channel prototype version of it this year, '84.
Yeah, I do too. Maybe at the end of '84.
Yeah.
What else? What do you see on an overall, philosophically? How do you see it changing, or if that's not too?
I see it becoming much less of the physical mixer as we know the mixer, and it'll be more of a computer screens and a control panel. That's much more remote.
You might even be able to carry it around with you. I mean, that's one of the
ideally,
dreams, but whatever. It doesn't have to be very heavy and big, because it's not all it's doing is doing commands.
So the reason not only is it to upgrade and facilitate easier mixing and stuff via digitizing, but it's also necessary to actually be able to correct the sound properly.
That's right.
So there's really sort of 2 reasons. It's a twofold thing that's happening.
I mean, size would not be worth the money it's going to take to develop digital, size alone, just to have something small. I mean, it wouldn't be worth, say, developing and putting a team of people on just to make it smaller.
If it also has to be significantly
better. It has to be able to do things we've never done before, or otherwise it's not going to be really warrant the effort. It's not going to pay us back.
Yeah, it's like a better mousetrap otherwise, right?
Yeah, I mean, we don't really need the board 4 times smaller. Knobs are already small enough.
Right. So, part of it is the expedience of being able to quantize your commands and stuff.
That's
too.
right.
That's something that I have to address. Now, there are whole parts of the contents of my mix in Grateful Dead music, meaning the drum mics and the different instrument mics and stuff like that, that there are certain types of processing, or actually there are certain groups of things that I don't process, that would be much more expedient for me if I could just make a command that could be issued automatically to a whole group of microphones, say. To be able to, for me, quantumizing it is the answer for me.
Yeah.
I need to be able to have each step take bigger bites so that I can, because what's happening now is that I have ideas of things to do, but there physically is not enough time, and I can't physically turn enough knobs in enough time to be able to realize it. So I need that kind of help. So that's one of the things that I'm really looking forward to.
Well,
And that's what it's going to mean to me. Again, I'm a user, right? And and actually, it's largely frustrating. I mean, while I feel that I have access to a tool that is the state-of-the-art sound system, it's still, I'm already into the next generation of stuff. I've already bottomed out what I can do with the controls that I have on it. For me, it's mix boards. Okay, for right now, the speakers and that part of it is we can cook along on that for a while because the ideas are pretty much developed there. Now the big bottleneck for me is the mix board.
Right. Yeah.
It's primitive.
Yeah.
Even though we have a very sophisticated one.
Yeah, well, you have the top of what analog can produce.
That's what it is.
I would not try to make something.
No, we've saturated what you can do with it.
I mean, I wouldn't sit here and say we could make it better when we'd do things differently, but that's really the kind of the...
This one basically sounds good, and it has
sounds
good human engineering
It has
to it.
about as much flexibility as you can put with knobs
Yes,
before it just becomes a C of where you can't get your fingers in.
So to sort of wrap it up, the things to come in the future are probably the biggest significant change is new designed, larger, more powerful power amps, and on a concept basis, going totally into digital, the digital domain for the processing of audio. Would that be?
Yeah, I would say that's true.
I agree with that also.
Yeah, things to come, future things to come.
And the control of the whole sound is going to become more direct, so that there'll be just the better ability to control the sound in a space, but more as you want to do something, you'll be able to do it.
And it's all all for one reason: more and better, good sound for all of us.
That's right, music.
Music. That's it.